Oh, hello everybody. Welcome to the Sunday service. We got a nice view of Drew's workbench there for a second. He's doing some painting, aren't you, Drew?
Well, doing some weathering.
Oh.
Doing some.
Oh, a Jaguar.
A Jaguar.
How are you finding that kit?
A what?
All right, a Jaguar.
Thank you.
I know. I did that to get a reaction.
Well, congratulations.
It worked. How are you finding
Jaguar?
How are you finding the kit, dear?
It's the best 48HL kit Airfix I've ever done. Full stop. End of story. Next subject, please.
Okay, fair enough.
No, it is. It literally is. It is absolutely sublime. What a model. And I can't think of a better aeroplane for Airfix to ascend to a new level with. But perfectly honestly, yeah, it's just you know, I'm not gonna bang about saying it's Tamiya-esque and all that sort of stuff, because it's Airfix. It's a different kettle of fish, but it's better than anything they've done before, and markedly so, in my opinion. It's got the surface finish of the Spitfire 24 and Lightning,
yeah,
but with modern levels of internal detail. It is just spectacular.
You haven't seen the Gannet though, have you?
Yeah, I've seen it. I don't have one, but I've seen it.
No, I think the Gannet's pretty darn good.
But you know, the thing with that is you have to talk about you know, it's personal experience, isn't it? You know, my personal experience is this is the best 48 scale Airfix kit I've ever encountered. And while still leaving room for improvement if you want to spend some time on it. So, you know, and it certainly seems to be popular on YouTube and places like that, doesn't it? It's there's a lot of them, you know, there's a lot of them turning up. But really all the stuff you're seeing to improve it is either offering stuff that's not already available or gilding the lily, so to speak.
Which we'll come to.
Which we will come to, because there's quite a lot of us who've been working on odds and sods, shall we say, odds and sods for it. But yeah, I mean, it's just what a delight! What a delight! Honestly, it's like it's scary, because this for me now needs to be the Airfix baseline. Do you know what I mean? Do you know, because Airfix have sometimes taken 2 steps forward, 1 step back, 2 steps forward, 1 step back. And you know, in some of their design choices and things like that. This needs to be a baseline moving forward for Airfix. Without a doubt, it's spectacular.
Jolly good, excellent. Thank you for that. How are you this week?
I've been a bit off color all week, if I'm honest. I've had a lot of abdominal issues this week. Again, just I don't know if I had a bout of food poisoning earlier in the week, but it's left me quite debilitated and not feeling very. I'm okay now though. I'm getting better now, but it's just one of those. I just think it's age, John. It's just stuff doesn't, you know.
Oh, don't say that. Really,
it is. It's just you're starting to appreciate that
we're young men in our 20s, for goodness sake. Come on.
Yeah. About that. I was supposed to go to a gig on Friday night, and I was really looking forward to it, and it wasn't happening. There's no way I would have gone to that gig and enjoyed myself. So it was, you know, what can you say? You know, there's a few medical issues I have to deal with at the moment as well, with sort of repeated trips to the doctors and stuff, and monitoring and things. So anyway, that's nothing to do with this. So moving on. I'm fine. I'm fine. I'm good.
In fact,
I'm good. You never ask older people how they're feeling because they'll tell you.
Oh gosh, yeah, absolutely, yeah. I'm just going to actually have a quick look. Bear with, folks. Bear with. I'm just looking up to see when the IPMS North Somerset show is, because that's local to us. 2025, June the 22nd, Drew.
June the 22nd?
June the 22nd. So I'm trying not to sound like Terry Scott here. June the 22nd at the Helicopter Museum.
Oh, sorry, I was thinking of the Avon show. I was like,
no,
that's early for the...
No, that's you were thinking of the Avon show because that's the Avon show.
Yeah.
This is IPMS North Somerset Helicopter Museum, Sunday the 22nd of June. So I think you're coming up for that, matey.
Yeah, we'll work on that. Certainly.
That's less than a month away. Goodness me.
Oh, for God's sake.
Actually, I'll say something that will cheer you up considerably, Drew. Is June the 22nd will be the day after the summer solstice.
Well, that is a bit of good news, I suppose. So,
there you go. Which means the nights start getting
drawing
shorter. Yes. which for you and me, you know, we do like our colder winter months.
We're winter babies. We just like the
babies.
winter.
Not too keen on the winter fuel bills, but anyway.
I don't actually. I don't mind. I don't mind a bit of warm weather when I don't have to do anything.
Yeah, that's true.
It's, you know, a little bit of warm weather and just wandering around and you know, sort of it is fine. But when you actually have to go to work and stuff like that, it's just no.
Yeah. Right, I'm just going to do a quick shout out to everybody who's tuning in at the moment. So I'm just going to say hello to Peter Oxley, Russell Taylor, Kev Tinker, Michael Scott, Paul Voyle, Dougal McGoogle, Rob Suto, Rally Chefs Model Shed, Nick Brown, Lee Suter, Travis Thompson, Greg Woodbridge, Jerry Doyle, our good friend Jerry, John P. Huston, Ophir Cohen, Andy King, Craig Sargent, Mike Williams, Stephen Kessel, Dave Swindle, Dave Fleming. Ever heard of him? Ian,
rumors.
Ian Goldstraw, Mark Ryan, Damien Mullen. That's it. That's pretty much the end of that then. Right, shall we? Well,
it's the usual subject.
It's the usual subject, yeah. Shall we dive on with news and what turned up in the post this week, but the Hella 72nd scale E2C Hawkeye, which was sent by Hella.
Jadlam also sending one.
They asked us if we were interested, but Hella had already offered. So I said, that's very kind, but we'll take Hella up on their offer. So anyway, and also, Drew, that when I see
we could have had one each there, John.
Well, no, you know, I'm not going to build one, so you can have mine. So there we go. Hella E2C Hawkeye, nothing to do with the kit they did about 20 years ago. This is all new. Seems to have its DNA possibly in the Kinetic kit.
Oh, it's the Kinetic. It's the Kinetic 48 kit, isn't it? It's it's the nearest thing to a pantograph you're ever going to get.
Yeah, I've got to say, it's
no bad thing.
It's absolutely beautiful. It's probably one of the best kits that Hella have done in a very, very long time. You can see here, okay, yeah, you're going to roll your eyes, Drew, because you can fold the wings on this, but I'm not going to roll my eyes because you can fold the wings on it. So there are your wings and your engine pods and your Willy Fudd mount. the radome. There is the radome in question, and some cockpit bits and pieces, wing fold, blah, 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 blah. And then we've got 2 sets of sprues for the undercarriage and the egg whisk propeller blades. And there's other bits and pieces there. Then
also the original prop blades there as well.
Are they? Oh yes, yeah, I can see them. Yeah, yep. And then we've got the clear parts. Now, Hella have done this. I don't know how Hasegawa did theirs, but Hella have done it with separate glazing for the cockpit windows.
Yeah, Hasegawa did it as an entire clear part that drops on top.
Right.
Which I have to say would be my preferred option, but I reserve judgment until I get to do it, so to speak. Do it.
Yeah, absolutely flash art. So here we go, some close-ups there, little bit of some awkward ejection pin.
Oh, they are awkward, aren't they?
Knockout marks on those doors there, which is actually, when I was just going to say, I often wonder when I see that is would it have been easier to have put the pins on the other side to punch it out of the mold?
Because, as a way of as an ease of cleaning up thing, yes.
Yeah,
without a shadow of a doubt. I mean, that is a particularly awkward collection of knockout pins. I mean, it's not it's not a showstopper, and it kind of makes me think, a few hours with Fusion, and it would cease to be an issue. Full stop. But it is quite. It's unfortunate, but it's not a showstopper.
No,
that's really nice.
That's your cockpit tub. There are your. Those are your main rudders, main tail surfaces there, and of course, one of the unique features about the E2, Drew, you tell the ladies and gentlemen about the rudders on the E2.
Well, only 3 of them have actual rudders.
Yes.
Only 3 of the tails have rudders, and one is just a fixed vertical tail.
That's it. There is your mount for the radome. There are your wheels, flattened tires as well. There is your.
There appears to be 2 options there: flattened and unflattened.
Oh yes, yeah. Your radome, or as you say, radome. No, radome. It's radar, for goodness sake. And there is the instrument panel. Very nice detail on the instrument panel and the wing folds as well. Tail surfaces, the fuselage, very nicely done engraved panel lines, and a little bit of fastener detail as well. Bearing in mind that iPhones can sometimes just make things look a little bit clunky. That's actually very, very finely done. More detailed bits there. Nose wheel. What have we got here? Undercarriage.
Undercarriage.
Yep. Bumper lumper bum. And then we've got engine pods and intakes.
2 different flavors of cooling intake on there as
well. Center of the wing. And then we've got wing fold there, and what looks to be the nose gear bay, and some other bits and pieces for the undercarriage. Make or break time is the decal sheet, because I think it's fair to say down the decades, Hella have never been particularly good with decals. These are actually very nicely done, and they have been designed by Fighter Town, so they are exceptionally well researched. And I've got to say that on the decal sheet, the colors are very good. The printing is spot on. So
nice. Good to know.
Hopefully a corner has been turned. And then we have only a single scheme though, but I don't see that as an issue, because frankly, the aftermarket are going to be all over this kit.
I remain really surprised that this wasn't released as a French Navy one first.
I would not. I would not be surprised if they do a French Navy one.
But there's no way they won't. But no. it really surprised me that it wasn't the first. That wasn't the first boxing.
Yep.
Because if I'm honest, I don't go much on that scheme.
It's colourful.
But it's got that look. It's got flames. It's like a bad Vauxhall Nova.
It's almost like this is the US Navy.
Oh God.
So sorry, US Navy. But overall, I've got to say, I was very, very impressed with the kit.
I shall look forward to seeing it. I really will. I shall.
And I look forward to you looking forward to seeing it, because it'll be interesting to see what your impressions of it are. But so a big thank you to Hella for sending us that.
I mean, I think we have to appreciate that its major sort of benefit over the Hasegawa kit is availability. It's going to be available.
Availability plus, and it's the thing I like about it that you're not going to like about it, is that you can fold the wings on it.
You can fold the wings on a Hasegawa one. You just have to do some cutting, like proper modelers should do.
Oh, for goodness sake! We'd like to distance ourselves from those comments, if you don't mind. No. It's over here in its box. Got to say, another interesting thing about the kit, caused a little bit of controversy, is that the only part of that kit which is actually bagged in plastic are the clear parts. Everything else in the kit, it's wrapped in paper.
Well, that's very, very sustainable.
Mm-hmm.
Very, very sustainable. I mean, if it gets wet, it's going to be a mess.
Well, just a bit, yeah. But
but no, I mean, I don't see any reason why there's any sort of controversy there.
Well, it's Hella have gone big on the box to play up their green credentials as well. But like I say, it'll be interesting to see what your impressions of it are when we finally get round to when we do meet up. But I'm looking forward to seeing what you make of it. Right, shall we move on?
And yes, they have announced a C2 Greyhound as well. So
have they?
Yes.
Yes.
Which again harks back to its Kinetic DNA, because Kinetic did the Hawkeye and the Greyhound in '48. So,
but I don't think there is a 72nd scale Greyhound kit.
No, there isn't.
No, there isn't. No.
So.
No. So right, next. Luke Graf. We featured this in the past. They're now shipping or getting ready to ship this. This is their 32nd scale 3D printed Grumman J2F5 duck, and as we've shown on the show before, it's pretty spectacular. Yeah,
it's beautiful, isn't it?
It is, and here is a resume of all the parts in all their 3D printed glory, and it includes a pair of figures as well. I mean, this is a couple of £100, Drew, but I think anybody who gets one of these, they're going to take their time and they're going to savor the experience, quite frankly.
Oh well, it's not it's not a weekend project, is it?
No.
It's very much, it's your big year's project, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
For the it's the competitor's big year project.
Yes. I was just going to say that's certainly going to attract people who will be out for a bit of trophy hunting, won't it?
I would think so. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And I suspect there will be some spectacular models made from it.
Mm-hmm. Dave Fleming says about those knockout pins on
He's actually quite true on reflection. It's they tend to close very close. They close very close. That's that English thing again, where the same spelling means they close very close to the undercarriage legs.
You see, now if I was writing that in an article, I would probably use the word shut very close, because I hate having similar words in the same sentence. But yeah, I know what you mean. Right, next. Now, this is Dora Wings, and this is revisiting, well, not so much it's revisiting a subject, but a new scale. And they are
yes, please and thank you.
Sorry?
Yes, please and thank you.
That's there we go. They're doing a 48 scale Fairy Delta. Now, you built the 72nd scale one, didn't you?
I did.
Did you enjoy it?
I loved it. It's such a beautiful little model. It really is such a, again, it's not perfect. It needs a little bit of tweaking around the intakes and stuff like that to be more to be more in scale. But the finished result is just it was one of my favourite models of last year.
I'm just going to see if I can find it actually. Talk amongst yourselves, everybody, because I'm just searching through Drew's model page. Let's have a look.
Drew's model page.
I found you
photos. There should be albums. Bear with. Let me just grab this a sec, and then because I can share pics now, can't I?
Oh, you can, yeah, you can.
So
all right, well, we'll move on. We'll move on to the next.
Bear with. Present image.
You can tell we can tell we organised this tonight, folks. Found them. I found them.
There you go.
I
found them. John.
Yeah, I found them. Right, I'm going to share.
I've just shared an image, John.
Yep. Right. There we go. Yeah, you did the pink one, the purple one rather.
Mauve.
I was just going to say mauve. Yep. And in fact, I'm going to share a screen here because I've got your pictures here. Here we go. So there we are. So that was you in the process of building it. That's you in the process of moving it, and I spy some Trizact there.
There was an awful lot of Trizact.
Yes.
and coats and polishing and recoating and polishing and flatting, and then I think it was I used turtle wax in the end to polish it. So,
Now, is that polish or is that a gloss coat?
That's turtle waxed and
yeah. Oh no, that's a Mirage. Very nice. Very,
you shouldn't say no to the Mirage because all the research from the Fairy Delta was provided to Dassault for the Mirage. So
that's very, very good. So you are clearly up for doing this again in 48 scale.
Yes.
As am I. Which aircraft are you going to do this time?
I think I'll go with one of the blue ones.
Okay.
Or the blue one this time. Possibly, if it assembles pretty much flawlessly, I might even be tempted by a shiny one, a shiny silver one. That would be nice. James Ray there. The frog one was 72nd, James.
Yeah, I'm just having a look. Just trying to find where he is.
That was actually one of those that was very commonly seen in the UK in the early 80s in a Novo box. All of the fairs and stuff, you'd find people selling them for like 20 pence.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. You could pick up the Attacker and the Seahawk and the Fairy Delta and stuff, and there was hundreds of them for like 20 pence each.
I'm just trying to find where James's comment is. What time frame?
Well, it's the second comment on my screen, at least. It's the second comment. It's between Mike Williams and Craig Sargent. Well, hey.
Nothing. No, nothing. Oh, here we go. Yeah. Here we go. I have an FD2 and a weird scale, 196th or something. Was it Frog? No, it's actually 72nd scale, James. It's just very, very small.
It is a small aeroplane.
Mm-hmm.
It is a small aeroplane.
Yep.
It's,
sorry, carry on. Undercarriage shots. There's some very nice detail there, isn't there, Drew?
It looks super, doesn't it? I mean, the 72nd one is very, very nicely detailed. So,
yep.
There would be no surprises, and the interior certainly got a lot of extras in there compared to the 72nd one. God, that seat looks uncomfortable.
Just a bit, yeah. Doesn't look very safe either, does it?
Well, it was the early days of shall we say, assisted removal from the airframe.
Mm-hmm. In fact, when you were up the other week and we watched the excellent League of Gentlemen.
Yes.
The character of Race was played by Nigel Patrick. Nigel Patrick was also in that 1950s British film, The Sound Barrier.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Have you seen that? I might actually see if I can get that on DVD or Blu-ray, because that's a cracking film. And in fact, that reminds me that on your next sojourn up here, we've got Private's Progress to watch, and I'm All Right, Jack, as well. They're linked. It's the same characters, but oh my goodness me, they are both absolutely.
Your wind chimes are getting more attention tonight than anything else.
It's like Neil Peart is outside, isn't it? It's
no, it's not.
It's lovely. I sit in here, and it's very restful. Right, I think this is amusing hobby. I'm just going to check's script. It is. I can't remember. Yeah, it's amusing hobby. 35th scale PT-91 Pendekar or Pendekar, Malaysia's main battle tank. Long story short, Amusing announced this in and around 2021, but it disappeared off their schedules. But it's seemingly back. For those not familiar with it, the PT-91. I don't know how you pronounce this. Twardy. Okay. Twardy. It's a Polish main battle tank, development of the T-72, M1, entered service in 1995, which still feels like the recent past, 30 years ago. It was designed at Obram. I'm not going to even try and read how you pronounce that, and is produced by the Bumar Lapedi company, part of the Bumar Group, a technical military consortium. Changes from the T-72M include a new dual-axis stabilized fire control system, reactive armor, a more powerful engine, transmission, and a new automatic loader. Float your boat, Drew?
Yeah, it kind of does actually, because there's somebody's doing the Twardy as well, possibly is again amusing hobby. Now these are nearly all, apart from Malaysia, obviously has it as a main battle tank. There's not much potential, I wouldn't think, for large scale tank battles given the terrain in that part of the world. But yeah, the Poles certainly had a lot of them, and nearly all of them now have been supplied to Ukraine. They've all gone Ukraine's way as Poland updates its main battle tank fleet with some gusto, shall we say. So yeah, I've always found the Russian, the T-72, the T-80, the T-90. I've always found them attractive vehicles. Regardless of how great they aren't. they are they're attractive vehicles. They just don't tend to be all that good.
I think the Russians are finding out at the moment just how not great
well, I mean, it's, in fairness, so are the Ukrainians, but the Ukrainians knew about, that's why they've been looking westward for replacements, because you use what you have available, I suppose.
Mm-hmm.
And that was all they had available, so they used them. But not in that kind of peer conflict that's happening in that part of Europe at the moment. They're not particularly great vehicles, to be fair. They are they are the 3-year winners of the turret toss competition.
Ouch.
Well, it's it's one of those things that shows just a difference in philosophy and having that auto loader. But when you stick a carousel that actually goes around the inside of the turret ring, that's where the carousel of rounds is. Take a hit there and they all go off and the turret goes flying.
Just going to say, not the smartest place to have all your live ordnance, is it?
No, 25 rounds in a circle around the turret ring.
Yes,
it's not terribly good.
It's almost like its own ejection system, isn't it? It's take one hit and that's it. Your turret is ejected.
It's particularly telling in that you're seeing a lot of pictures of as soon as vehicles like a few Challenger 2s have been knocked out in Ukraine, multiple Leopards have been knocked out, Abrams have been knocked out, but the common factor amongst all of those is invariably the crew walk away. Because of the protection and the blowout panels for the ammunition is all stored in the bustle behind the turret, behind fireproof doors. If it takes a hit in the ammunition goes through blowout panels in the top, doesn't enter the crew compartment, and then the crew can. I mean, it still kills the tank, but it means that it gives that sort of that little bit of time for the crew to bail out of the vehicle.
Well, I'll tell you what, that's apposite, because we'll move on ahead. We'll move this one slightly up the schedule tonight. This is Meng are doing 35th scale Leopard 2 A6. And yeah, some of those that's their link by link track assembly. In fact, I'll tell you what they say about that is the cement-free double-pin workable tracks have excellent mobility and are easy to assemble. So, okay.
Yeah, I mean, I will certainly be. Because Meng have already done a Leopard 2A4 and a Leopard 2A7. Yeah. So they're kind of straddling it. I've built the 2A4 a couple of times, and it's a fabulous model. It really is. So the 2A6, there are other 2A. There are lots of 2A6s available, to be frank. Nearly everybody's done a 2A6, so you can, I've got 2A6s here from 2 or 3 different manufacturers, and so Meng is entering that battle. I'm a little bit disappointed because I'd rather Meng had gone back and done some like 2A1s and 2A2s, 2A3s. And covered all the little differences for the earlier slab-sided turret variants. But it's I know the base model. I can recommend it wholeheartedly. It's a lovely kit. I think the tracks are sort of an all new sort of the development from the originals. It's about 7 or 8 years since I last built one, to be fair. But yeah, I mean, it's such a great tank, such a great looking vehicle.
One of the features of this kit is one-piece road wheels. What does it say? A paint mask is provided for easy painting. So
yeah, a lot of that happening these days. It's good to see.
Yeah,
good to see. I mean, I tend to use I've got sort of
you got a silhouette cutter, for goodness sake, man.
Yeah, but generally I just use. I've got one of those circle masks. Just pick the right size and black through a set of road wheels in sort of 10 minutes, spraying them the right colours.
That's actually you've reminded me. Telford this year, I need to get one of those circle cutters. Might get a Meng one. I think not a Meng one. I might get a Despy one. So yeah. So
I've
sorry.
got one somewhere around here. I don't know where it is though, because I shortly after getting it, I got my silhouette cutter.
Mm-hmm.
So it's disappeared into the model, into the equipment selection somewhere, and I don't know where it is.
As much as I love my silhouette cutter, just sometimes it's such a faff to have to set it all up and load the paper.
Yeah, sometimes you want a circle of a size.
You just want something quick and dirty, and that's it. Just use a circle cutter. Anyway, right. So we will move on now. Let's just play catch up with the comments. Go for it. Painting says, don't forget to hit the like button. Thank you very much. Tim Maunder, who's decided not to carry on with his profanity-fueled contributions tonight. Tim, mind your language.
His anti-wind chime tirade.
Oh, for goodness sake. Goodness me. And he went to a public school as well. Unbelievable. Yes, I'm just having a quick look at the comments. Mr. Spencer Pollard says that color scheme should be fun. Talking about the leopard.
Oh, it's a digital one, isn't it?
Yes.
Like I said, if you're doing an original digital scheme, it's dead easy because you don't have to follow any pattern. If you're actually trying to replicate one on a model, it becomes incredibly difficult because you have to follow a pattern.
Oh right, yeah, we're talking about the amusing one, aren't we? Yeah. Oh, goodness me, yeah. Oh, yeah. I think I'd just go for an overall single color actually. Right, next. Right, you, as the saying goes, you have a dog in this fight, don't you?
Well, Jaguar bits.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Mike Reeves has been slowly building up a large selection of additional detail parts for the Jaguar. So these are by a regular viewer here. This is Richard Van Zant's work, which is complete full depth intake trunking. Which will require a little bit of cutting of some of the bulkheads in the kit, but nothing that will affect the kit, and is just a quick snipper to get rid of a few parts. So yeah, there's two variants of the intakes being released with blow-in doors, open and closed. So if you want to do a taxiing aircraft, one with the engines running anyway, you've got options there. So these, I also believe these are fairly, I think these are Richard as well. So this is the chaff and flare dispensers that scab on the underside of the engine bays of the Jaguar. And then these are new pylons. Particularly love the underside, the detail of the yeah, look at that. That's fabulous, isn't it?
It's. I mean, how you'd do this as injection molded, I don't know. I think it would be very, very tricky.
I mean, in some ways, the only reason I would use these pylons if I was not putting a store on them.
Yeah.
Because that is just because you can't see all that with a store on there. So
no, exactly. So you want to use these for a clean.
But it just shows that you can get whilst even injection molding is getting better and better on year. You look at all the all the voids and things there that are printed in. You just can't get that kind of fidelity.
I was just looking at that side view and thinking, how could you? I think the only way you could do that injection molded is that if you if you did the fairing there, and you did that panel there as separate things that you kind of, as separate
Yeah.
things that you
Yeah,
drop in.
very
But
much so.
that's an absolute, that's a chunk, isn't it? It's anyway, and there we have the ANLQ 101.
Yeah.
Which is Richard's work again. And then we have, what have we got here, Drew?
That's the twin beam for the inboard pylon for a couple of £1,000 bombs. Used on the Jaguar and occasionally seen on Buccaneers as well in the early years. Yeah, again, this is Richard's work. New drop tanks. I mean, I have to say that I've made the drop tanks in the kit, and the drop tanks in the kit are, are very, very nice as well. This is just another option for some enhanced detail. And that's the fan faces for the Adar engines. I mean, they are going to be all but invisible given the depth into the intake, but they're there anyway. We provided them.
They're going to be all but invisible if you use the kit intake blanks. So
yeah, which is what's happening with my current my current build. So yeah, they're all I believe they're all Richard bits. I don't know. Craig Sargent has also been doing some stuff, and I don't know if I can swap. Bear with me. I'm going to go to the. It's all right. I'm just trying to think. Sorry. Right. I'm going to go to my screen, open up Fusion, and show you.
No, it's suddenly all gone a bit temporal anomaly there.
Yeah. So. Is that showing?
Yep.
So yeah. If I just drag my. So yeah, that's the CBLS 100 that by me that will be being released by Mike in due course. There's also, that is a standard one. I've also done, this is a Jaguar specific one with a shorter rear fairing. So that's a CBLS 100. Bear with me. So I've also done
wheels within wheels in a spiral array.
Yeah. So, in fact, that's not the. Bear with. I don't think that's not the one. Jaguar main wheel. There we go. This is the one. I do apologise. So this is the one with Dunlop logos. Let's turn the origin off. So we can add or remove the Dunlop logo. So there's the tyre as it is, and the inner and outer hubs. I've also done, I don't know why it keeps on asking me for recovery documents, just because so again, there's a nose wheel. It's great. If I go out, my original hub is rather larger.
Oh yeah.
Which is because I designed it full size and then scaled it. So,
which is ironically, that's what I do with so much decal design as well. Is always draw it full size and then knock it down to the scale. So anyway,
if I turn that off, and you can see that the hubs there as well, inner and outer hubs. So that's being released as well by Mike. This is a £1,000.
Well, it's a dumb bomb, isn't it?
It is. Let's.
And that looks like something from Quatermass and the Pit. There we go. There we go.
So yeah, that's a 2-part £1,000 retarded bomb. I nearly did something really, really inappropriate there and stopped myself.
Yep, I'm glad you did.
But yeah, that's a £1,000 retarded bomb in 48 scale, which will be done. Like I say, it's as it appears. It's in 2 parts, and they'll just lock into each other when it's done. And there's also a £1,000 and a £1,000. This isn't the final design that Mike's got. I've made some changes to it since this, but you get the general idea.
It's just insane what you can do with 3D printing, isn't it? And the scary thing is, what can we do with 3D printing in 5 years' time?
Yeah, absolutely. It's it keeps it just keeps getting better. But just to is the CBLS that I'm building for my current Jaguar build here. So these were printed yesterday, and they'll come with a big rack of little release shackles. 4 of the release shackles will go inside there. So yeah, that's everybody's been busy doing bits and bobs for basically not. I mean, I did this just for me really, but Mike Reeves always sort of, he went on a Jaguar binge and said, I'll have that, I'll have that, I'll have that. So it's like, okay, fine. So Kev Tinker says, will you be doing practice bombs for the CBLS? Kev, I'm looking at that at the moment because, like I say, because I designed it basically for me, my idea was that I was going to do empty CBLS dispensers. But obviously, Mike's quite interested in getting the practice bombs, so I will take a look at that. And Dave Fleming there, WE177 and tilted nuke pylon. Dave, information. I'll have to have a hunt around, but I would like to do a WE177 at one point, because I'd like to do an RAF Germany Buccaneer with a pair of them in the bomb bay.
I've got to look that up actually. WE177 tilted. What's it again? Tilted nuke pylon. Well, I think we'll put that down to. Oh gosh, yeah, I see what you mean. Yeah.
I've never seen it. I don't think I've ever seen it. I got the new Creasy Jaguar book this week and haven't really had a look through it yet.
Okay. I'm sure Dave can find us a picture, and we'll put it up on the Facebook page.
Oh, I thought you found a picture.
No, I
you
found
said, you went, oh yes, there it is.
I found a reference to it.
Oh right.
I couldn't find anything that I wanted to share. Let's put it that way. Craig Sargent also says there may be some Dragon P61 correction / detail parts underway. I would imagine for the Dragon P61, the correction set would be a 3D printed kit, really. But I built that model. God, when did that come out? 30 years ago.
Yeah, I built it. I built it when it came out as well. It's a pity we can't 3D print fit.
Yes, was not.
I'm firmly of the opinion that the P61 is long overdue for a new 72nd kit. If you're listening, ICM or any of those people.
All right, Dave has sent us. Right, here we go. Let's go to Facebook. I like it when we suddenly go a bit ad hoc. Right, so here we are. Right, okay. So Dave has present, share screen. Dun, 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 dun. There we go.
Oh, okay. So it's just a yeah. It doesn't. It's not the French pylon, but it's more similar.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, is that an extension onto the existing? That is just an extender pylon on the existing RAF centerline pylon, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
So it's still got the RAF centerline pylon. This is a problem with especially the British nuclear weapons program. They were all incredibly secretive and very, very difficult to find any information on. Pictures of aircraft carrying them, even dummies, were very, very rare. Although it's quite instructive to see a Westland Wasp carrying a WE-177.
I saw that just now, actually. Yeah.
It's like, Lord alive.
Mm-hmm.
You wouldn't want to be the person tasked with carrying that, would you?
We've dropped it. Let's get out of here.
Yeah, yeah. But I mean, I can remember reading about some. There was a picture that floated up of one at Yeovilton flying around the airfield with a 177, and some guy said, "Yeah, I was flying that," and the pictures leaked, and nobody was very happy about it because it wasn't really, it was a dummy weapon, but it wasn't even a sort of a formally acknowledged, mission for the Wasp at the time. So,
yeah.
Because the WE.
Oh, Drew's gone. Oh no, we've lost Drew. His broadband's gone down.
There we go.
Oh, he's back.
What did you do?
You froze for a second there, Drew.
No, you disappeared completely.
I know. Well, in that case, then we'll go back to the recording and see what happened there. There was definitely an interruption there. Simon James Colley says P61 seems right up.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thinking they would do a 48 one followed by 72nd scale if they did one. I think I'm like you're thinking, Simon. I think I would not be surprised if it factors into.
I would be very, very hopeful. I would like, given just how good ICM are these days.
Right, shall we leap on with the next news item? And this is ResKit, and ResKit are doing some cockpit bits and pieces for the Trumpeter 32nd scale F105D/G.
I mean, this really is polishing the proverbial.
Well, this is.
It really is.
This is what ResKit say. Corrected glass details refined to match the fuselage contour as precisely as possible. So I think even they're acknowledging the fact that it's.
I mean, the problem is everything from the windscreen forward on the kit is wrong as well. So
yeah.
I mean, again, it's a remarkable design job by
ResKit.
By ResKit, but it's just such a, as far as possible given the shape of the fuselage.
Yeah.
It's just.
I think we'll put that one down, Drew, as a wah wah.
I mean, clearly the best bits of that kit once it's together are going to be the ResKit editions.
Yes.
It's still like you can add as much detail to it as you like. You're still left with that kit, and I keep on looking at the 72nd scale one, and they were all released back to back, and they've all got the same issues and horrible surface detail, and not an A-team effort, shall we say?
No. So what you're saying is that there's still room out there for the definitive 72nd scale and 48 scale F105.
And 32nd scale if they want to. But I think DBMK have said they're sort of looking at this 48 scale next year, aren't they? Thunder Chiefs. So have you ever been around a Thunder Chief, John?
Yes, because we've.
It was a remarkable aeroplane. It is.
I do declare, we've both been in front of one at the Cold War hangar at Cosford.
I've just seen Dave Swindle post something, and that has just made me a ridiculously happy man.
Hot off the press. Right, here we go. X Scale are doing a 737-200.
Oh, yes.
Unfortunately, I can't get the link to work, but Facebook. Oh, goodness me.
I mean, I've said on here repeatedly that I want a 737-200, haven't I? Every time we discuss 144 scale kits and P8s and E7s and all that, I've said we need a new 144 scale 737-200, and X scale were my people of choice to do it. And
right, please try not to get overly excited here, Drew, because I've just found some screen renders, but control yourself, man, for goodness sake. So here we go. Stop screen, present, share screen. Right, ready? You happy? He's gone. His broadband's gone down again. His broadband has gone down. Oh, for goodness sake. I thought he was goofing around there for a second. It's going to be one of those nights tonight. So Drew's going to say I disappeared, and Drew's the one who's disappeared. Well, there we go, folks. 737-200. Let's wait.
Did you disappear for a while there?
No. I just said you disappeared. Anyway, right, here we go, Drew. 737-200.
There's nothing that's showing, John.
Oh, right. Sorry. That's. Oh, for goodness sake. There we go. 737.
To be fair, that's a fairly early render.
Yeah, just a bit.
That's but yeah, I mean, it's when the only existing kit, I think Revell did one, and the only real one is the Airfix kit, which dates from 1971.
70s, yeah.
Yeah. So well overdue. And the thing is, some of these, if you go on YouTube, you can find that some of these are still in use.
Yeah.
On some limited, like in the far north of Canada, into the far north territories and stuff like that, you can still see these being used with gravel kits attached to the forward intakes, to forward of the intakes, so they can land on rough fields and gravel fields and stuff to drop people and cargo off. But yeah, I mean, this is where the 737 story really started. There was a 737-100, which was even shorter fuselage than this. But I think there was only a couple of users of that. Lufthansa were the first users in '68. And then the 200, which saw service through, which was in production until about 1984, when the first of the classics came along with the CFM 56 engines, which is which is where this program really got its legs. Now we're looking at possibly, it's either that, I'm not sure if it's this or the A320 is currently the most produced airliner in history. But interestingly, exactly the same fuselage dimensions as a circumference as a Boeing 707 and a 727. They all had the same fuselage. So yeah, this is just.
It's a fabulous looking aeroplane, isn't it?
They're not going to be able to make these fast enough. I know we hate to say license to print money, but among airliner modelers, this is this is going to be a big deal.
Yeah.
And remarkably, for all that time, you know, there were no stretches or shrinks. You had the 737-100, and then it was replaced by the 200, and that was it from about 1969 to 1984. The 200 was the 737. It's just so, you know, in the last year we've had 144 scale 727-200 from CRM. They've now announced the 727-100, which is apparently going to be an all new tool, not based on their 200 kit, because they've decided to make a few changes. We've got the 737 now from X-Scale, 737-200 from X-Scale, which I think is just massively important as a release.
I'd agree with you, and I'm not massively into airline. You know, not massively into airliners.
It's just, you know, 757. I know there are issues with the company, blah blah blah, but Zvezda's 757s are just stunning models. They absolutely are, and it's the best looking airliner ever. Full stop. End of story. And I will not take your Concorde contests because they're not true. So anyway, no, sorry, the 757 is a better looking aeroplane. So yeah, CR, I don't know what's don't forget, X-Scale have also just released a 707-320 as well, which is one of the original 737 models without the inboard wing wedge. So they, you know, the 707 is getting some love now as well from this sort of small core of manufacturers coming out of Ukraine and other parts of other areas like that, who are really focusing on these airliners. And I've developed quite a thing about, you know, traditional airliners, like the early jet years of airliners. So we had the DC-8s as well from X-Scale, which are just magnificent. So I just need to get enough years left to start building them all.
You and me both, for goodness'
You've seen me build. I mean, I built those Tupolev Tu-204s with the last real airliners I built for the hobby company.
Yeah.
And you remember those? Those, you know, just fabulous. So yeah. So what else have we had? We had the Trident. Have we had the? I'm just looking immediately behind me here.
I tell you, you go solo for a second.
So immediately looking behind me. So yeah, we've had the X-Scale Trident. And the X-Scale DC-8. I've got a few different boxings of that now. And then the X-Scale Electra. So yeah, X-Scale are really.
What are you doing to your microphone, Drew?
Sorry?
What are you doing to your microphone?
I'm just moving, John. I'm moving around.
All right.
So yeah, we're starting to get a lot of the classic early jet years airliners. So hopefully, I would like to think at some point there'll be new a new Vanguard wouldn't be bad.
Yeah, not bad.
New Vanguard, a new let's say somebody, a new 111, BAC 111 wouldn't be bad. Caravelle.
Oh, Caravelle, goodness me. Caravelle and the Comet, that would be nice.
Aeroplane.
Yeah.
And you know, Comet would
There we go.
Be nice.
Mike Williams puts his finger on it, says need a BAC 111 and a VC 10-2, please. So, and then Mike Williams.
That's the thing is, if you have a look, everybody's having a, you know, everybody's sort of stating their preferences. So there's clearly, you know, up there somebody said the DC 910/30 needs attention. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, Fly did it 7 or 8 years ago. That is very much a limited run. I've seen some lovely models built from it. Mm-hmm. But new, you know, a new tool to current standards would still be very, very welcome. Yeah, Comets, you know, Comet and Caravel would be very, very welcome. CV 880 and 990, Convair 880 and 990. Oh, yes, please.
There we go. TriStar as well.
Yeah, all that DC10, MD11, TriStar, all these things. There's just, I think there's a little bit of a renaissance going on in the airliner scene, on the airliner scene at the moment as well, which is nice.
Right, and finally, we're at the finally part of the show tonight, and this is Copper State Models. And they have announced this is quite extraordinary, 35th scale, 3D scanned RAF in the Middle East. So it's like an armored car crew, and you've got they gave names to all the characters on their Facebook page. So go and have a look at we've posted that up on the timeline. But again, this is 3D printing. This is quite extraordinary. Just the verisimilitude is the word I'm looking for.
I love the pith hat and pipe.
yes, we'll come to him in a second. There he is, Lofty. And there's Lofty and Gunnar Graham, here we go. They have got the names there. So you got RAF Officer Robert Evans. I'm not entirely sure whether these are real people. I didn't find that out, so somebody will correct me. Driver Owen Freeman with his pipe, and gunner Edward Ted McDonald. Sergeant Edward Ted McDonald. But these are just extraordinary, aren't they, Drew?
Beautifully done, aren't they?
Yeah,
absolutely beautiful.
I really must build one of these Copper State Models kits at some stage. I must get hold of one. Add that to the list of 100 things, other things that I want to try and build this year. But yeah, this goodness me, what a time to be a modeler, eh? What an era to be a modeler with 3D printing and everything. It's staggering, isn't it?
It's you can't keep up. There's just no. It's in some ways it's incredibly frustrating because there's just not enough time to do what you want to.
Are you saying you're kind of like you're looking back rather nostalgically to the dearth years of the 1980s when there was barely anything being released? Is that what you're saying?
Well, there's definitely a degree of that, isn't there? We're all of a certain age, aren't we?
Speak for yourself, old darling. Right, I'm just going to quickly jump to my workbench camera.
One little tool I got this week.
Go on.
We like this pie here, don't we?
All right, hang about. Ready? Any other business?
Yes.
Oh, there you go then. That was seamless. What's he bought?
Like a seam scraper, stroke knife, and chisel. This pie, so you know the quality. It's it's only for it's just for scraping seams and stuff, and chiseling bits. But I saw it. I like new toys. It's got little magnetic covers, so that you can cover the end you're not using, so you don't kill yourself.
Oh my goodness me! I've just found it online. I thought you were going to say it's some kind of hideous price. It's $7.99 plus.
No, that's for the handle.
All right.
The blade, the blade, that is one blade, and it costs about 20 quid all in for the handle and the blade, which I still don't think is hugely expensive.
No, I think that's and
like I say, it's disc buy, so you're pretty much assured of the quality.
Yeah.
But yeah, that little I recommend it if you want a new toy to play with.
I want one of them. I'm send me a link and I'll order one.
Oh, John, don't ask me to send links because I found it. I found it on eBay and
Okay.
hit. But you know what it is.
Yep.
Well, did I get it from Premium Hobbies? I can't remember now. I use so many different companies these days and just press. You don't tend to look at where stuff comes from anymore.
No, that's true.
You look at the price and whether it's available.
Yep.
And the other thing I've also found is a supplier of Tamiya enamels.
Oh, now where did you find them?
There's again, it's a Polish company, but they've got a .co.uk address. So they ship from Poland, but they do ship Tamiya enamels. And if you've never used Tamiya enamels, you need to treat yourself because as detailing and weathering paints, they are just exceptional. It's not showing back to front on the screen.
No, it's fine. It's fine.
It shows back to front to me, but there you go. Yeah, if you've never, so for things like this, for I tend to mix a bit of the brown and the black together to make a dark color. And if you put a dab of this on and leave it for 10 minutes, then streak it with a wet brush, it's even better than oil paint, I've found, at giving those beautiful little streaks that you look for. So yeah, I found some. I bought a load of these in about 2008, 2009. Although enamels do last longer than almost any other kind of paint if you keep them capped. Obviously, the years have still taken their toll, and their X11, which they call the chrome silver, is the best detail silver you can get on the market for tiny little detail work.
Yep.
Full stop. So yeah, Mike,
message me a link.
It might be from Super Hobby. Yeah, I just saw them the other week and they showed Tamiya enamels and I thought, well, it's clearly coming from Poland, so let's take a punt and see if they'll ship to the UK. And yeah, giving it a few days and
yeah, here we go. Yes, here we go. Superhobby.co.uk, as Mike has got on the link there, and they've got them here for £2.3 a bottle, which I think is exceptional value.
Yeah, I mean, I've got 2, 4, 6, 8. There's another couple of bottles somewhere. I've got about 9 bottles, and I think it cost me about 22 quid, including postage. So
there's going to be an order this week.
Yes, it's just if people have never used, it's the last bastion of the useful enamel as far as I'm concerned, because we don't tend to use enamel for anything else these days.
No.
Yeah, that's what I said, Mike. They're Polish based, but with the .co.uk. In fact, thinking about it, that's where that came from as well.
Okay.
I just made 2 orders and I didn't actually connect the 2 orders.
Right.
That's where that came from. I saw it, Googled it, and ordered from the first thing that looked like a decent price. So it's one of those things where I now have an account with them and I forgot I'd set it up. So
okay. Right, I'm just going to go. I'm just going to jump to my workbench camera for a second because let's get rid of that. We don't have a workbench camera for some reason. Why isn't my workbench camera working? I know why it isn't working, because I haven't plugged my didn't plug the camera back in.
Probably ought to do.
There we go.
There you go.
There we go. So this is the Italeri X Eschi Ford Escort that I'm working on, 24 scale Ford Escort. Did have some fun this week, as Ian mentioned the other week, is there were some pretty horrific sink marks across that bonnet. So I filled them with Mr. Surfacer, the gloopy stuff, and then just wet sanded it with with a skinny stick, and also with my God hand sanding sponges. So there is still, if I tilt it to the light, there is still a little bit of a sink mark on there, but I am going to wet sand this again, and then hopefully that will be all that it would take. It's subliminal. I mean, I am literally tilting it to the light. It won't pick up on camera here, but there is still just a little bit of that kind of X across the middle from that horrible great big sink mark. But the other exciting thing, Drew, is that once I get that sorted out, I will be able to deploy my dehydrating machine I've got here. So that means I can spray this and then put it in the dehydrator and see what happens. So exciting stuff. So I think that's it. I think we've had our any other business, haven't we? Have you got any other business?
No, I don't think so.
No, I think that's fine.
It's a fairly good evening's chat, I think.
I think it has been. Goodness me, we have gone now for an hour and 17 minutes. Cool, blimey, Governor. That's been a bit of an epic.
Of course, you got to try and dehydrate water balloons. See what happens.
Dave Fleming does make a very good point. He says, "Can you dehydrate some fruit as well?" That's primarily what they're supposed to be used for. Tony Surridge says, "Look at the Copper State models, Vickers, Clino sidecar." That is draw drop. Yes, I am going to have to get some Copper State models stuff for the channel. So the only other business I've got, Drew, is that what are we up to now? We are the 25th of May. So May, June, July, August, September, October. Got 5 months till Telford. We got to get a wiggle on and get things built.
There we have. Yeah.
Ooh. I'm hoping to see Mr. Farmer this week. I don't think there'll be a job in the fire escape trade, but I am hoping at some stage to blag 72nd scale F-35C. And what was the other thing they announced this week? It's the I'm hoping to get the little Renault tank as well. I'm going to do one of them for Telford. But we'll wait. I'm still building Monty's Caravan here, and of course, being ICM, there are a lot of parts. That's the best way I can describe it. Although we have now, as you may have seen on the Interesting Modelling Company page today, we have built a sofa. So there we go.
There we go.
Isn't that brilliant? But yeah, there are a lot of parts, and there was one instance today where I was having to build something out of 4 parts. Each of those 4 parts were on different runners, different sprues. Exactly. So right, on that note, a big thank you to everybody who's tuned in tonight. That's it. Fingers crossed, we'll be back next week, and we're going to have to do a catch up with Ian on some of the new car stuff. So that would be exciting. Until the next time, it just remains for me to say thank you for watching. Why not? We will see you in 7 days' time. So until then, stay safe, stay out of trouble.
Take care, all.
See you very, very soon. Bye for now. And run end credits.